Hello, welcome to Kayfabe News. My name is Flippin' Marx, and I told you a few weeks ago I would continue to bring you the biggest names in professional wrestling, and today I have one of the biggest. All the way from the United States of America, it is the man known as Sami Callihan. Sami, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you over there in the good old US of A?
You know what? What's the name of this dumbass show again? You're mumbling a lot. I can't understand what you're saying. So give me the name of this program one more time.
I told you we had a conversation. It's Kayfabe News.
Kayfabe News. Oh yeah, Flippin' Mark. Here's the thing. I've seen you for the past year, and what you're doing is absolutely idiotic. And you're the only person in the entire What Culture brand that I hate more than Simon Miller. But you're not on that level yet. So you better mind your P's and Q's during this interview, or you're going to become at the top of the list just like Simon.
Wait. Wind it back a little bit, Mr. Callihan. What do you... this was one of my questions.
Sass?
What?
Is that a hint of sass?
No sass. No sass. I'm dialing it back. I'm dialing it back. I'm reading it back. Respect. Mr. Callihan. Why do you
Callihan, not Callihan.
Sorry, Mr. Callihan. Why do you hate Simon Miller to such a degree? Because from my vantage point, innocent bystander, he hasn't really done anything to you.
First of all, he's ugly. You ever seen that big, bald, Mr. Clean looking head of his? That's the number one.
So you don't like him because of his looks?
Look at his bald head. It upsets me every day of the week. Every time I see his stupid face, his stupid voice, anywhere on What Culture, social media, or on YouTube, it makes me want to jump out a window. At least you have a beautiful set of hair on you.
I do. I'm glad you pointed that out. I haven't had it quaffed in quite a few weeks because of the global situation.
But back to me talking. Shut up.
Okay. Yeah,
my other hatred spawns from Simon Miller being this guy. What is he? 52 years old at this point, trying to get into professional wrestling. Look, I actually respect that against him. He wants to live his dreams. He's going all in on it. But the fact that he talks like he's been in this business for 40 years and he's some crafty veteran whose opinion actually matters is what grinds my freaking gears.
But the thing is, if he's 52 and he's been in it 40 years, that means he started when he was 12. Doesn't that deserve a little bit of respect?
Hey, people start wrestling when they're young in England. I've seen it. I've ran seminars with children that are under the age of 10. And look at Pete Dunne. Hell, I think Pete Dunne started wrestling when he was 2 years old, and he's absolute badass right now.
That's okay. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. So you want to beat him up because he's bald, he's unattractive, and because he's trying to live his dreams as a wrestler.
See, that's the problem with the world right now. You're trying to spin my words, take it out of context. I didn't say it like that. I said I don't like him because he has not been in the business that long. He's a starter, he's a rookie, and he's acting like he's this veteran. Do you not understand the words coming out of my mouth?
No, I do, Mr. Callihan, and I respect you massively, as we've already discussed.
Well, good. Someone does at What Culture, because it seems like people like him just want to run their mouth all the time, even though I'm one of the biggest stars in all of professional wrestling.
You are. I agree with you. I just think maybe you've got.
See, we're going to get along.
I knew we were. I get along with everyone.
Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Here's a little handshake. Hello, Flippin' Marx. My name is The Draw, Sami Callihan. Nice to meet you. You got a beautiful head of hair.
I've always liked you. You know what? And screw that Simon Miller guy. I agree.
Exactly. You know what? We might have just become best friends.
Well, I've been looking for a best friend because I don't know.
No quarantine. We'd go do karate in the yard right now.
We would, because all the other people I've tried to get aboard as my best friends are these people on the internet, the wrestling fans that leave comments on YouTube, and they're just scum. I'm not going to.
They're the worst.
Absolute scum. They're the worst. They are the worst. And I feel like if they touched me, my skin would probably melt. It's a big worry of mine. You just called yourself The Draw, Sami Callihan. Let's start there. Tell me more about this nickname, The Draw.
Well, it all started when I quit WWE. I quit WWE. I wanted better. I wasn't complacent with just collecting a paycheck. I showed up at AAW in Chicago, one of the premier independent wrestling companies in the entire world, in the United States. And once I showed up, it put that company on the next echelon. I was the man that got all the eyes on AAW. And I'm the guy that pretty much single-handedly changed independent wrestling. Look, independent wrestling was down in the dumps for a while. And you know what? I'm not going to take all the credit, but there's a big portion of successful independent wrestling that comes from The Draw, Sami Callihan. Hell, if you knew all the guys that I've had a hand in building, developing, it'd blow people's minds.
No, okay. So my notes, I made a mistake. I thought you were called the Draw Sammy Callahan because you were good at drawing, as in
I am good at
pencil
drawing
and paper.
also. I mean, it's
Oh,
a
you are
double
good.
entendre.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that. What do you like to
Is
draw?
that how you say it? The double entendre, or is it
That's right. Yeah.
entendre?
Either way, I'm with you, Sammy. Whichever way you want to say it, I'll agree. What's your favorite thing to stencil?
Stencil. I'm not a stenciler. I'm a graphic artist. I like to do my kind of art on the computer screen. I have a pad. I can draw. I do illustration. I edit videos. My form of art is completely on the creative content end of the spectrum.
I see. I see. Something else that I saw when I was doing, like I say, my research into you. Put it like this: I like you a lot. I think you're a great guy. But if we did meet up, and you had a baseball bat, I would be very scared. I don't get scared often, but I would be very scared and I would be intimidated. I saw a very disturbing scene where you were beating a man's head with a bat, and I felt like we should discuss that and try and figure out what was going on.
Hey, the only thing to discuss about that is it was the best thing to happen for Impact Wrestling. That company was in the grave, and that single-handedly put that shit back on the map. Being on my shoulders, being on my back, Impact Wrestling, once again, is the buzz of the wrestling community, especially over the past 3 years I've been that. Hell, look at Eddie Edwards, best thing that ever happened to his career.
It wasn't the best thing that ever happened to his eye socket, though. I would say his eye looked.
You win some, you lose some.
Well, that's true. That's true. I would be happy for my eye to be destroyed if it meant that down the line I was a bigger success. This is true. This is a true statement.
You would look so flippin' cool with an eye patch. Get it? Flippin' Mark, flippin' cool.
I would.
We're making shit right now, bro.
I think maybe I can get into the wrestling business and that can be my character. I can be flipping eye patch or something like that.
Just don't be like Simon Miller. Don't come in here and act like everything should be handed for you. I think you come in here, you keep your nose to the ground, you shake everyone's hand, you tell everyone how much you love them, really kiss their ass, and you'll be just fine.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Tell me about Impact Wrestling, though, because, I've watched many of your matches in there, and I was kind of astounded to see you taking on Tessa Blanchard for the World Championship.
I'm really good.
You are. You're one of the world's premier wrestlers. I'm just saying, the last thing I ever expected was to see you taking on somebody like Tessa Blanchard. Tell me about that experience.
It's 2020. I think if you watch the Wrestling Revolver, if you watch me in general, I think I've proven that it's not just about, oh, this is male wrestling, this is female wrestling. The term intergender wrestling shouldn't even exist at this point because it's just pro wrestling. As much people hated me, I gave them exactly what they wanted. I treated everyone as equals, and I'll continue to do that. I've done that my entire career, and I put Tessa Blanchard on the next echelon. Hell, I made absolute history for Impact Wrestling. And now, look, Slammiversary is coming up, and it's the talk of the wrestling world.
It's true, and you've opened that exactly the question I wanted to ask. You have done that. I totally agree with you. I think it was the right way to go. Is there anything else you'd like to wrestle? We've done human beings. Human beings are done. You could wrestle a goat. You could wrestle some form of fish. How about getting a Sami Callihan versus an animal matchup? I think there's money there.
Or what about Mark Marrow? I mean, have you seen him lately? He is an animal. I would love to go one-on-one with Mark Marrow, the kiss that don't miss. Or, you know what? I'd like to go a little page out of the Tracy Smothers playbook and wrestle a damn bear. Hell, give me 2 bears. Hey, 3 bears. Maybe 4 bears. Maybe Sami Callihan versus 5 bears. You can be my tag partner.
Whoa.
The very first match, because I like you way more than Simon Miller.
I appreciate that. How the hell are we going to take on 5 bears? You haven't thought this through at all. What are we going to do?
It's common knowledge that the best way to fight bears is karate.
Karate.
You don't know how to defend it.
Why not? How do you know this? Have you taken on a bear before using karate?
No, but I've trained for it. I believed in it. I put a lot of intensive research in the subject of wrestling a bear. Look at Tracy Smothers. He's beat a bear 2 times, all because Tracy Smothers karate. But look at me. I mean, I'm pretty much a 4th-degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I'd beat a bear's ass.
But you said karate. I thought Taekwondo was different.
It's the same thing.
Okay, so you just need to know some martial art.
No. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ain't going to work. You ain't grappling with a bear. You got to come up with elements of surprise. Get them with the right.
What about
left?
What about if I learn the classic Karate Kid karate style, Mr. Miyagi? Will that work?
Hey, it might make the bear think that you're something you're not and absolutely a threat.
No,
Kind of
and
like what Simon Miller tries to do all the time when he puts on his little tough guy muscles. I don't even think they're real muscles. I think it's a suit at this point.
I think it is a suit. I think they
His
exposed that.
body's too good. He totally puts that shit on, zips it up, totally like Krang from the Ninja Turtles.
No, I agree. I've always said that. I've always said if there's one person he's trying to mimic, it's Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Stands to reason.
Dude, we are on the same way. We're about to finish each other's sentences. I can feel it.
Do you think maybe can we do some kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wrestling gimmick? I would like to be Krang. I feel like that would
it
be a
worked
good
in the
step for
early
me.
90s. It really did. It set the territory on fire. I think bringing back a TMNT, nailed it.
Yeah, you did.
I think we bring back a TMNT, add 2 more people, we're going to kill it.
Fantastic.
We're going to kill it.
Okay, so
last question.
Absolutely. Last question for you. Obviously, yes, Impact Wrestling. Tearing up the wrestling scene right now. But what happens next? Where do we go from here?
Look, with Slammiversary coming up, with all the teasers they're putting online, something big's about to happen. For the last 3 years, and I'm not just saying this because I'm biased, Impact Wrestling has had one of the best weekly episodic television shows with actually compelling storylines. Also, we knock every single pay-per-view out of the park. I don't think there's been a time in the last 3 years that someone's watched. Hell, that idiot Simon Miller gives every Impact pay-per-view a bunch of thumbs up, even though that's stealing my gimmick. I think the next thing for Impact Wrestling is just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And shit don't happen overnight.
No, it's true.
And there's a change of the guard, and things being built for the last 3 years is building to something epic and special.
Yeah, there's a rumor that, and I know you probably can't confirm or deny, but I'm just a bit concerned. There's a rumor that the wrestler known as EC3 may be making his comeback to Impact Wrestling. But I'm
shut your mouth.
No, I'm not going to ask about him. I'm not going to ask about him. I want to know about EC 1 and 2.
This is only a kind of question. I think Simon Miller. Are you Simon Miller?
Of course I'm not Simon Miller. My name is...
I knew that hair was too nice. You tell me right now, are you Simon Miller? We're supposed to be best freaking friends.
Listen.
Flippin' friends.
Sammy, I'm not Simon Miller. Look at me. Look at me. Do I look anything like him? I don't look like that bald asshole. I have luscious hair, and I'm at least 20 years younger than him.
Touche.
Okay, right. So on that note, I feel like we should quickly end this interview for no other reason than I have somewhere to be and I have things to do.
If you see Simon Miller, since we're best friends right now,
I'll
punch him right in the dick and tell him he's a piece of shit.
I will. I've dreamed about that moment. Dreamed about it. And in fact, you know what? I bet if I did punch him in the dick, it wouldn't affect him at all because his penis is so small.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Well, Sami Callihan.
Got a little dick.
Tiny dick. Tiny. It probably doesn't even work. It's probably broken.
I've heard that.
I've heard that too. Sami Callihan, thank you for joining me on Kayfabe News. We do appreciate it, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.
Oh, we're going to cuddle one of these days. You're my best friend now.
Finally. It's June 2020 will always be considered a remarkable month for Flippin' Marx, Kayfabe News, and Sami Callihan. Yes.